Hey guys, welcome to the 2 a.m. pipe on the patio. Afternoon edition, evening edition. It is 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I am smoking my 626 Savinelli unfinished. And in it, I'm smoking some G&H Brown Irish Twist, the good stuff, which I did not let dry out. It's my third bowl of it today. So I've been sitting here today just kind of whittling some Tampers. From the tree that my dad and I planted. This was the first one I did, and all I used was my Benchmade knife and this stone, and I would carve it out, and then I would burnish it on the stone here. And it came out really nice. Actually came out pretty cool for just using a knife and a stone. Came out super smooth. And this was the first one that I did. And this was going to a friend who requested one from the tree that my dad and I planted. Which I thought was really cool that he asked specifically for one from that tree. And he's a dear friend. I consider him family. And I thought I would make him at least one from that tree. So that was the very first one I've ever done. And I didn't know how it would turn out. And came out pretty cool. So that one's going to him. And I had another piece of wood that I had found at my wife's college, which was this piece here. And it has a lot of had a lot of cracks in it and stuff, and I kept breaking it off, and finally got it to where it would take a little bit of a point. So I'm keeping that one for me, because I have a feeling it's going to keep cracking. And then I went out and cut another piece off. Actually, cut another branch off and took a chunk of that, but it's still wet. I carved it wet, and it's still I don't know if you can see that on the bottom there. It's oozing sap and stuff out of it. So I'm going to let this dry, and then I will finish it up and see how that one comes out. But it was pretty fun. I've always enjoyed carving and whittling and that kind of stuff when I was a little kid. I remember my dad, when I was 9 years old, gave me still have the knife actually. He gave me a pocket knife. It was actually an electrician's knife because he was an electrician, and had it's a big black knife with a bail on the end of it so you could hook it on a whatever, something you could hook it onto a cord or something so you could always find it. But he had a couple of those in his toolbox, and when I was 9 years old, I was out in the garage going through his tools to get something, and found that knife, and so I asked him, I said, "Hey Dad, can I have this knife?" And he looked at me and he said, "I think you're old enough to have that knife." And he said, "But here's the rules," and blah blah blah, and gave me all the rules and safety instructions. And he told me, if you don't follow those instructions, I will hurt you worse than that knife ever could. And this was the beginning of summer in 1969. And I took that knife and I sat out on the side of our house, and I just grabbed whatever piece of wood I could find, whatever branch I could find, and I whittled from sun up to sundown. It was all I did, man. I was Huck Finn that summer, and every day. And this was an old rusty, at that time it was old and rusty. So I have no idea how old that knife was when I got it in 1969. But I still got it. I need to sharpen it up, start using it again. Start using it for this, to carve the Tampers that from the tree that my dad and I planted. That would be special. But so I've been sitting out here and got all shavings all over the patio out here now, and it was a fun day. Got two completed. Well, actually three completed. The one that was still fresh, I got it shaped up, but it's it's wet, so I know it's going to have to dry and sap's going to have to come out of it. And what I wanted to see, if I cut it while it's wet, what it'll be like once it dries, if it'll be compromised at all, or if I should let it dry and then shape it. So it's an experiment. But it was fun getting out here and breaking out the Presidio and doing some whittling with it. With this piece I had cut and let it dry out for, it's probably been drying for a month or two, and it's completely dried. It's perfect for, but it came out good. So that'll be fun to do. I cut another piece off and I got it sitting on the front porch drying out. And then I thought I'd go ahead and shape this one up while it's wet and see what happens. Where it's, you know, it's got all the sap coming out of it and stuff, so we'll see what happens with this one. Fun times. Gonna try cutting some branches off this pepperwood tree over here. They need to be trimmed up anyway, so cut some of the branches. They look about the right size, so cut some of them off, see what they're gonna be like. I don't know what their branches, what the wood's gonna be like on that, but it'll be fun to try out. They're very rustic. They're not like bearded Tampers at all. So anyway, that's what I've been doing today. And it was fun. That was a lot of fun to do. So I will be cutting some branches. Drying them out. And then in a month or two, starting to see if I can make tampers out of those branches. I don't know if they'll be any good for it or not, but we'll see. I'm gonna throw some beeswax and oil on this one here. Let that soak in, see what happens on it. But it was pretty cool burnishing it on the rock. Really polishes up the wood nicely. I was really surprised at how nicely it shines up the wood just rubbing it on a rock. And smooths it out, polishes it up. But so anyway, just wanted to check in on you guys and let you know what I've been doing. So I will talk to you later. Have a good day. God bless. Love you guys.